defending freedom will have cost for us as well and here at home. We need to be honest about that.
When America stands for her principles and all of the things that we hold dear, it requires sometimes for us to put ourselves out there in a way that maybe we will incur some cost.
You mean specifically Americans should expect higher gasoline prices?
Yeah, energy prices, exactly. That's what we want the American public to be aware is a possibility.
All right. Well, look, now we know why prices are so high. It's obviously all Vladimir Putin's fault. Joining me now, Joel Griffith, economic expert with the Heritage Foundation. Joel, I was trying to figure out why I had to pay so much money to fill up my pickup last week. Turns out it was Putin.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, two things are happening with this invasion. We see the pandemic seems to be at last ending across the country. Even New York City now is talking about lifting mask restrictions. And now we know what the cause is of our economic slowdown and of the millions of people that aren't working and of the skyrocketing gas costs. Of course, we know these problems have been building long before Russia invaded its neighbor in a dastardly act. But now we see the administration trying to put the blame for our slowing economy, for the fact that families are underwater, for the fact that it costs you $150 in places in California to fill up your car. Now they're going to blame it on what's happening across the ocean in Russia and Ukraine. That's dishonest.
Joel, not only is it dishonest, I don't think it'll be effective, but is that me just being sunny, Jesse? There's no way people are going to buy into this, right? Because already this economy, I mean, Vladimir Putin, Ukraine, all that stuff aside, it's not just that the economy, inflation was up, prices were up. It's that it was heading in a bad direction already. We were already facing a pretty rough 2022. You don't think the American people are actually going to buy that this is all Putin's fault, do you?
Well, there's always going to be some people that go by the official party line. But I actually do think that people are waking up. Even I just look at conversations with individuals. People are starting to connect the dots between these promises that politicians make, between this magic money that just shows up in checking accounts. People are starting to understand that we printed a lot of money, trillions of dollars, and people are starting to recognize that they're soaring house costs, that the stock market bubble that we had until recently, they're starting to connect the dots and realizing this is government that has caused the problem. When you go to the store and you see those bare shelves, guess what? That's not what's happening overseas in Europe that's caused that. It's the fact that we had politicians here and abroad that decided to shut down our economy in such an immoral and irresponsible manner.
All right, Joel, we already know where the economy was going. You certainly know. Now we do have to acknowledge Russia, Ukraine, energy prices. What do you think? I'm not smart enough to unpack all this. What do you think this does mean for us? Am I going to be paying $20 a gallon to fill up my truck? Where do we go? What does this mean?
You know, prognostication is the dangerous game. If you look at the prices today, we actually saw oil come down about 8% off of its $100 per barrel peak earlier today. But there is no doubt that we do have a world, particularly Europe, that has become dependent on Russian oil and Russian gas. And for some reason, despite the fact that we knew the threat was growing from Russia, Putin has been clear about his ultimate intentions. Despite that, we saw Germany rushing full steam ahead to build a natural gas pipeline from Russia to Germany that would ensure dependence on Russian oil. And then we saw our own President Biden, on day one of his presidency, kill the Keystone XL pipeline that would have ensured us abundant, affordable fuel from our ally, Canada. So it's bizarre. Our politicians have gotten us into the situation where now they actually have to take the dependency on Russian oil into consideration. That's a big reason why today, when President Biden announced sanctions on Russia, well, guess what isn't included in those sanctions? We're not sanctioning Russian oil and gas. They assured Russia we're going to keep the spigot on if we can.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.